Welcome.
Hi.
Good to be back. It's been a while. Feels like it's been a while. What, we take a week off?
Yeah. I was just thinking that, like, wow, I haven't done this in a while. Falling
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. So, welcome to the Cajun and Eskimo show from Bayous to Iglus. I am your co host, Cajun Libertarian. There's your host, Eskimo Libertarian. Good evening
Hey
to
guys.
all in the comments section. I hope everybody's doing well. We are going to have a very fun and awesome episode tonight, as always. But we're going to talk a little bit about what that FDA employee said on camera, by the way. Didn't know he was on camera, but that makes it all the much more better. And then we'll talk about some other sketchy scientific, just trust the science stuff in history that didn't work out so well. Eskimo is auctioning off her signed avatar flag. Nice.
Hey guys. Isn't he so cute? Or she? She has a braid.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're auctioning this off. I'm going to sign it and put a personal message on there for whoever wins the auction.
Nice. So, what are the proceeds going to?
It's to help me continue what we're doing here.
Perfect.
Yeah, we don't get paid really to do this. We don't make a lot of money doing this,
Not at all.
and stuff costs money. So if you want us to keep doing this, you'll help us out in this way.
Big facts. That is
Yes.
100% a fact. Excuse me. Hello from Virginia, says Amity. And then JS, Noel, Nullick, how the heck are you? And my wife sends two hearts. How the heck are
Oh,
y'all? So, fun night tonight. Great night tonight. Love having y'all here. Can't wait to get started on the Cajun and Eskimo show. All right back at it.
yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, yep. That's from Joel Solosky. Oh, I didn't know that. Joel, man, put an avatar. Joe, on put an avatar on your or a picture on your icon, man. It just says it's one of those like J's, in a
Oh
blue
yeah.
background, and then JS, and then it says it's Joe Solosky. Well, I guess we'll lead off with that. That is out of order, but that's okay.
Joe Salaski. Yes, he's running for Pennsylvania governor, and he is the key to Pennsylvania success. So vote for this silver bearded man of liberty, Joe Salaski. Yeah.
Silver bearded man of liberty. Liberty being the key to Pennsylvania's success, as Joe Solosky so succinctly and beautifully articulated that to Spike Cohen in Pennsylvania over the weekend. But Joe Solosky is going to give the Pennsylvanians that liberty. So, Joe is the key to Pennsylvania's success. Thanks, Joe, for sponsoring the show. And thank you, Joe, for being just a fantastic human being. I'll wait. I'll wait. Let me wait for that because I'm supposed to talk a little bit about what happened in Pennsylvania. So I'll give that a second with Joe Solosky. Fantastic. Fantastic guy. Um, the other sponsor we're leading off with is Cumberland Cannabis Co. Viable, ethical, effective. If you need any of your CBD, CBG, or cannabis based products, you can go to Cumberland Cannabis Company. Viable, ethical, effective for all of your natural, organic, inflammatory, medicinal purposes, or for what else that you have. Please visit Cumberland Cannabis Company. Next, oh well, that's funny. I was about to say next up is the next sponsor, but it was Joe. All I did was switch them. I did not check that first. My bad. That's funny.
That's okay. We're
Yeah,
rusty. It's been a while. We're getting the rust out
yeah, getting the
of
rust out
cobwebs.
for sure. Um, it's been a bit.
Oh, bye.
Sorry, I'm back. Face had a bad glare on it. All right. Tom Collar says weed works. And hi to the rest of y'all. Thanks, Joe. Joe's gonna put an icon or a photograph on his um avatar. For real, what's
Awesome.
with the state ran liquor mafia? Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy up there. We
So,
found out.
yeah,
Go ahead.
before we get started, let's go ahead and start off the bid. And as we roll along, you will monitor the comments and see the highest bid for the flag. So, what should we start this off at? 30 bucks for
30 bucks,
this
30 bucks,
flag.
30 bucks, 30 bucks. Signed by Eskimo Libertarian. 30 bucks, 30 bucks, 30 bucks. Put
And
it
I will
in the
sign it and put a personal message on there, folks. So, 30 bucks
perfect.
starting bid for my lovely little, it's more of a
That's the
wall tapestry, but yeah.
that's the first one, right?
Yeah, the first one
Yeah.
and the only one that I know of that has been bought. So, yeah, this is the first one, and I actually took it to the top of a mountain to take pictures. I went on top of Bear Mountain to take beautiful photos of it.
Joe Solosky in hot with 50 bucks. So we got to
Woo!
beat 50 bucks. Joe
Oh gosh.
Solosky leading off with 50 bucks, the key to Pennsylvania's success. And an
Thanks,
outstanding
Joe.
human being, and much taller than I thought he would be. Dude's like 6'3".
Quality. What
So
are you, 5'9"?
10.
Oh, 5'10". Oh, okay. 1 inch taller than me.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
inch. Sounds good.
I looked very small in all of those pictures. That's deceiving. Yeah, I am 5'10", 170.
I'm not going to say my weight.
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have. I didn't mean it. That's good. All right, so
Five
I
nine
guess
two ten. All right, go ahead. How
I
was
have also
Pennsylvania?
I've also never had a child, so that matters. I have children, never had a child. I have never birthed a human being before.
Yeah, that's an important fact.
It's an important fact. Cajun in Pennsylvania. Yeah, let's start off with Joe. Joe is like he's very. If you look at the graph, right, and you don't know Joe, forget you ever heard anything that I've said. He is very unassuming in person, right? Not the way that he looks. He's very handsome and silver bearded. All that is real, not photoshopped. He's very tall. He's like 6'2", 6'3", and he's very, very, very jolly. He looks like not, very serious, very, very professional, and he is all of that. Don't get me wrong, but incredible. He is hilarious. He's very fun to be around. Like just a joking guy, just always joyful, and I love that about Joe. So that's going to be one of the keys to Joe Solosky's success in winning that races is his personality. But that goes a long way, and it means a lot because he has a great personality. So thank you, Joe, for being awesome. And he's Cajun's man crush. At this point, Connor, you know what? We could still just create a list of man crushes because apparently everybody's a man crush, and that's okay too. I don't mind it. I'm not.
There's
I'm not.
a lot of love to
Yeah,
give.
I'm not a. I'm not a that dude. Like I literally dried off with a pink towel tonight. I don't. It just doesn't affect me. I don't care about
Yes,
that
he
stuff.
definitely looks very
Very secure.
dapper in all of his pictures. Very
Yeah,
dapper gentleman.
he is. But he is personality. No, he was dressed like very dapper the whole weekend. He was super sharp all weekend. You never saw him unsharp. And I'm rolling up in Chuck's basketball shorts and a t-shirt, like just completely. Like I'm not Spike. I'm not Nick Sarwark. I'm not Joe Solosky. I'm gonna be Cajun Libertarian, and I wore a t. I literally brought a collared t-shirt to the event just to put on for my two speaking experiences. Other than that, I wore Muddy Waters Media or this right here. So
Yeah, they're
yeah,
thinking, what bayou did they drag this guy out of?
they knew. They had to know. They knew already. That's the fun part, right?
Yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Bedford, don't laugh. It was your girlfriend's pink towel. That is incorrect, sir, on both accounts. Number one, I don't have a girlfriend. I have an ex girlfriend who is now my wife. And I wasn't using her pink towel. I was using my 13-year-old daughter's. So kick rocks. And it even says her name. It says Jaden on it. I can show it to you. So you're wrong, Ryan Bedford. Just kidding. That dude's always everywhere. Great, great activist. Always active. Thank you. So yeah, Pennsylvania was fantastic. Spike was fantastic. The speech that Spike and Nick gave on criminal justice reform was outstanding. Both of them played off each other so well. Obviously they don't spend a lot of time together, so for them to get on stage together and be able to hammer that subject and really feed off of each other and feed off of the crowd, because we were asking questions, and that was fantastic. The next segment was about one of those speakers talking about coronavirus and vaccines and stuff, and it was less savory. We'll say that. He did not gain any followers during that speech. And I will leave that there. And we're not talking
That's
about
fair.
Spike.
All right,
So,
that's fair.
yeah. And Liz Terwilliger nailed it. She killed it. It was a fantastic event. Each venue was awesome. Joe Solosky, Spike, and Bonnie's talk on drug addiction was fantastic. I gotta go by what Joe says there. Obviously, I fully trust Joe, but I was given a speech in another room at that time, so I didn't get to hear that one. But hopefully, I'll be able to catch it on video. And if you haven't seen the speech from Russell, from Spike in Russell, that he did yesterday, go back. I've seen it like 4 times. It's one of the best speeches I've ever heard. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, so
Yeah, that was pure fire. When I was watching it live and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can only imagine like if I was on the city council, I'd just be like, "Oh my
that's what
god."
my wife
Like
said.
if I have to
Yeah.
come back here, I'm like, "Whoo."
Yeah, yeah, that's what my wife said. Yep.
Pew pew.
Oh man, he has such that speech right there. He had such this demeanor, commanding presence without obtrusive and, and offensive. So man, and yeah, you don't want Russell City Council. You do not want the army up there. That I promise you. I would be surprised if they don't reverse that decision just off of Spike's speech. I will be very surprised if they don't. That's real. So, anyway, Eskimo at the Medical Freedom Rally.
Yeah, this last weekend I actually went to this medical freedom rally and pretty much this rally was hosted at multiple different locations over the weekend across the nation. And I went to the one that was in Palmer, Alaska, and there was actually quite a few people there. A lot of people came and went because it was multiple hours long, but there were a lot of speakers and a lot of signs and just a lot of folks coming together, being against the mandates. And so, like the vaccine
Nice.
passports and the mandates and everything, like we're sick of it. Um, there were some folks that are, very crunchy granola, very against vaccines altogether. And there are people that were just like, I'm just against the mandates. Like, get it if you want to, don't get it if you can't. This is your medical decision. The government should be on, shouldn't be making these decisions for you. And it was a very positive, upbeat attitude, sort of attitude. And there was this guy that was dressed up like a sunflower, and I really wanted to get a picture with him, but I never got to it. It was just a lot of fun. I actually brought my flag there, and I saw some folks that
Nice.
actually like recognized me. And we got some pictures, and they're like, "Hey, I know you. I follow you." And I'm like, "You do?" So it was actually really cool.
Uh,
And oh, just very positive. There were a lot of snacks and some parading and just all around very positive attitude. There wasn't, any negativity and there wasn't a counter protest and just the community coming together saying, hey, we don't want medical mandates. We don't want mandates, period. And so it was great. Loved it.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful
awesome.
day too. Yeah.
It's been really pretty down here. Isn't it snowing up there? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so that's
snowing.
not pretty.
No, it's gorgeous. I woke up to a winter wonderland outside my window.
Well, You can keep it.
Okay. That's why I'm
Out
wearing my blue
there.
cusp today because it's
Yes.
snowing.
Yeah, keep that up there. I don't want
It's a
none of that.
Christmas miracle. It's September. Uh,
Mm, yeah.
yeah, it's snowing so much. So there is this place called Hatcher Pass that's close to us, and I love like hiking and everything up there. And so it's a pass, and they close it off during the winter because they don't maintain it during the winter. That has been closed off, so now you can't go through the pass.
Wow.
Winter is
Already.
here.
Yeah, Connie, you're probably right. That's what my wife and I are concerned about. He says we'll probably get a bad winter down here, Cajun. Yeah, I'm thinking so. I hope not. Hopefully it'll be a mild winter since it was a mild summer. Ashley Greer Smoot says, I'm camping with crap service. Where's my flag? Also, who's gonna beat Joe Solosky's $50 donation or $50 bid for said flag with an autograph and personal message from yours
Yeah,
truly, Eskimo Libertarian.
this one right here. You know
The
what's really
only
cute about the avatar is that I put a pin on him or her. I should say her. It's supposed to be me, and it's the AKLP little pin
nice.
on the parka right here. So yeah.
We have 75 from Ashley Greer Smoot.
Ooh, thanks, Ashley.
75 is the number to beat.
Awesome. Well, before we dive into your segment, this just popped up on my feed, some silly Alaskan news that you guys might enjoy. So this is in the newspaper. It says September 18th at 1:12 a.m. at Cascade Creek Road, resident reported he didn't have a gun, so he had to hit a bear with a shovel instead of shooting it. An officer gave him a verbal warning and advised him not to use garden tools against a bear, which is ridiculous because you use whatever you can get around you when there's a bear,
That's why you only gave him a warning.
right? But still, this guy's like, I don't have a gun. Here's a shovel. Wham, haymaker. That's how I imagine it went. I mean,
Right, right,
those are
right.
the only details I was given, so I had to improvise, guys.
I hope that that's what happened. He just
Right.
bare-handled him with a shovel.
Yeah.
I
So that's
believe
the
he
stuff we deal
probably
with.
talked. Yeah, I think he probably talked dirty to the bear while he was doing it, like not in a sexual manner, like in a "Who's your?" I'm the man. You're going to lay down right now.
Wrong type of bear. Wrong type of bear.
Of course, that came out wrong.
Oh
What else is
my
new?
god. We're off
It'll
the rails
happen.
here.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
So let's get into what we have going on tonight. We'll give Eskimo a break. I will dive off into this real quick. I'm basically going to read this kind of word for word. I'll give you my opinions on it in between, but I snatched all these art, basically just straight up quotes from an article off of Vision Times, www.vision.times.com, www.visiontimes.com. On hidden camera, FDA employee says blow darts should be used to force vaccinate blacks and low IQ whites. Yay. So let's lead off with totalitarianism and absolute racism. That should work out. We definitely will not get demonetized for this because it was an FDA employee that said it. So, Matt and Spike, y'all are up next to be demonetized because we will not for this one, except for maybe the fact that I'm the one talking. Because apparently that's the trend right now on big tech. Either way,
oh,
doesn't matter. 75 bucks, 100 bucks, Dennis Trump in the comments.
that's my
Dennis
father-in-law.
Trump. It doesn't matter. It's 100 bucks. Beat it. One C note. Let's do it. All right.
Ta-da.
Oh, it's right under your avatar, too. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Taylor Lee, an economist for the Food and Drug Administration, was caught by Project Veritas, who has been very good lately. I will say that. Project Veritas is they're really good. They're really good investigative like undercover, just getting these people to say exactly what you want. So props to Project Veritas. Hidden camera video advocating Veritas on undercover. Hidden camera video advocating for the use of blow darts and drones to forcefully vaccinate African Americans and low IQ whites. While the opinions of Taylor Lee, an economist for the FDA, are captured in a personal setting on candid camera and do not represent the official position of the U.S. government or the administration, they may provide the public with valuable insight about the current attitude and culture within America's regulatory organizations and government bodies. Yes, Project Veritas is doing that and very damn good at it too. Let's see. In one segment, Lee talks about the cases, or I'm sorry, he talks about the causes of vaccine hesitancy in the African American community, as he appears to refer to the 1932 Tuskegee syphilis scandal. I wonder why. Well, well yeah. So where? Why even go further than that? You already understand their skepticism, but you don't care. So you'd rather blow dart people with vaccinations. It gets way worse. Besides the fact that everybody completely dismisses the fact that everybody that's not black or was a part of the Tuskegee experiment that understands what that was about and what happened, it makes us skeptical too. It doesn't make just one demographic skeptical, especially when you have a track record of this. All right, moving on because there's two of us here. I can't do my thing on this show. I'm saying it out loud so that I keep moving. All right. I think there's still this big mistrust in like it's deep rooted, continued this tyrant. Make sure I didn't skip over anything. I remember reading about how with COVID trials, they were having an issue recruiting African American people. And it was because of a different medication the government tried to do that was specifically designed to kill African Americans. All right. The Project Veritas reporter then interjected, yeah, can't blame them. Lee used that opportunity to introduce his solution to vaccine hesitancy in the demographic. I can't, but at the same time, like blow dart. That's where we're going. In another instance, the economist says, I mean, my personal thing is like, you get blow darts of J&J, and again, I'm a little cynical and like go to the unvaccinated and blow it into them. Not to be a grammar Nazi, right? But I don't have a PhD. I don't. I didn't graduate from college. Nullick did, so she's excused from this conversation, right? I don't work for the FDA. But how many paragraphs have the thousands of you heard me use that many 12-year-old phrases in? Why would you trust anybody or their opinion when they don't have a speaking level of above 8 years old? How many times can you dot, dot, dot and say and like in a paragraph of somebody that works for the federal government that can't even speak in a private conversation properly without sounding like an 8-year-old? Anyway, moving on.
Quite possibly, though, too. He's realizing the ridiculousness of what he's saying. Like, he is saying some pretty out there things. And
It gets
so coming
worse.
out and saying it, he's like just throwing it out there and letting you fill in the gaps. It's like, no, I see where you're going with this. This is out
That's a
there.
huge point, but that just degrades the situation even further. Being
Did you watch the video?
not yet. I've heard a
Oh,
lot of
I watched the
feedback on the
video.
video. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard a lot of feedback. I got to go watch it, but yeah.
Yes,
So
go watch it.
oh yeah, for sure. All right, that just grammatically that paragraph draws me up the wall. Anyway, the Veritas Project operative threw Lee a setup question. How do we reach the minority populations? Is there a way to do it? I want to get back to normal. Lee's reply was, I'm sure there is. I'm not the person to answer it, though, other than blow darts, because I think that's a great solution. All right, thanks. He revealed that some of his attitude is a result of training he received as an economist. Now, this is very important. This drives exactly kind of the mentality of what we're dealing with here. It's really kind of a blanket statement of how we're viewed by the government in general. And this should be a little scary. Some of his attitude is a result of the training he has received as an economist. So this is the thing that's really crude as an economist is we have a certain value that we put on each human life. Okay? So if you give 1,000,000 vaccines and two of them are blood clots, okay, you have a loss of $10 million about in your life. Government regulation type world framework. If you give these million vaccines, you get everything back to normal. Are you making more than that $10 million loss or not? And that's the way we're trained to like try and think about these things in terms of cost benefit analysis, that type of stuff. He said. So basically, they don't care about if there's 100 people vaccinated and one dies of blood clot. That's not what they're looking at. They don't care about that. And that's actually kind of a valid way to look at it, even from the opposite side. Except for the fact that you're letting the other side of people that are saying let this thing happen organically, you're just letting the chips fall where they may. You're not forcefully doing something that can literally kill someone, right? You're letting nature have its course and let it do its thing. And so there's a big difference there, even though the concept remains the same. So don't let anybody argue that point against you. I'm not talking to you, Nolik. I'm talking to all of us, really, everybody. Lee also noted he believed that the FDA scientists do not alter their research or data to fit it a political agenda. I want to believe that. And maybe after this guy's second statement right here, that may be true. There's a massive, massive problem here. Massive problem. However, he said
Yeah.
the issue. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, there's a saying by Mark Twain that there's three different types of lies. There's lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Hmm. Yep. How to lie with statistics. That is a literal book. All right. So he doesn't believe that the FDA scientists alter their research for a political agenda. However, he said the issue is not as simple as the integrity of the scientists because there are political appointees who are generally scientific advisors who are appointed by the president or the commission. So, even if let's just say the scientists are 100% accurate, honest, and full of integrity, they're still being governed by politicians. And he's going to highlight that right now. He said the appointees definitely do because they're being paid based on if the other people are staying in power. All right, keep going. Lee suggested the government do it to the whites first. Some more racism. Great. This is somebody I very much trust. 8th grade grammar level, very racist, totalitarian. Lee suggests the government to do it to the whites first. We'll post like video campaigns about doing it to the whites first. That is what they think about black people, actually. We'll just post news of doing it to the whites first so that the blacks are okay with it. It's the most racist. It's incredible. And people are going to buy this, right? Like, some people are going to buy this. It's remarkable. We live in a weird time. Weird is probably the best word I can use on this program. The white uneducated. It's like all of the colloquial things that we see in like Alabama and all this. And it's like apparently you need an IQ test. And if you fail below a certain IQ, you're getting a shot. So this guy is just full on anti everything and everyone that he is not, or he thinks he is. That's less feasible than the blow darts. I think the blow darts are probably still our most feasible option. He equipped. He quipped. He quipped. Sorry. All right. So wrapping up real quick. Let me get. I made a tweet about it. I posted about it. If you're gonna go the route of just total human rights violations, totalitarianism, authoritarianism, and just blatant disrespect for humanity at all, you could do that much more efficiently than with an effing blow dart gun. Much more. This track would be much easier and faster for you. The Again, just cementing and reinforcing the idea that this guy's a complete moron. Having said all that, I don't think that's in question anymore, but he works for the government. This is the guy working as an economist for the FDA who is approving what's happening to your body right now. If this is what you're choosing, this is the mentality. Then he goes on to say, I won't read all of this. He talks about the undocumented immigrants. Basically, he just said he doesn't care about that. So, what is it? Do you care about mitigating the spread, or do you just care about your narrative? Because literally, he says, I mean, the undocumented immigration isn't as much of an issue as like a lot of people make it out to be. Then what's the point of blow darting other people if you don't care if the immigrants are unvaccinated? It is none of this makes sense. It, this guy can't even put together 6 coherent paragraphs without not making sense, being an incredible, terrible human being, and then completely contradicting himself. And all of the idea around that's why people are vaccine hesitant.
Keep in mind with not being able to put together sentences and stuff like that, it seems to be not as big of an issue. In fact, like you could even become, I don't know, hypothetically the president of the United States if you can't even put together sentences. So, just
Possible.
hypothetically, just
It's possible.
theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Completely theoretical. Absolute hyperbole. Maybe we'll find out. Probably tomorrow. Sorry.
Whew,
This guy just keeps going.
shing.
I'm not going to just keep going on here. Again, the obvious answer is blow darts. Look, again, I can't reinforce this enough, right? Through all this nonsense that is actually very scary. Like if I was going to be that dude, I'm not using blow darts. I can put those blow darts in an air rifle that looks like an AR-15. I can also have my torso strapped in blow darts that will fit inside of mechanism that looks like an AR-15. So not only are you stupid, you're inefficient at being a tyrant, which is just really the pure epitome of the government, right? Bad optics on. I made a tweet about this too. Bad optics on the border. The Biden administration. Okay, let's ban horses. This is just peak government. It's incredible, and these are the people
These
throughout
coconuts.
every every layer. Guys riding around on horses, literally using reins to steer the horses. Looks bad. Let's ban horses. Let's use blow darts when you have rifles. It's just peak government efficiency, and these are the people that how the biggest problem with me is that how much of the country is buying this. That's my problem. It's not that they're actually doing it because people with 6 brain cells, they don't even have to be collective. They could be even spread out throughout the body, have more common sense than this. But there's like 2/3, half, at least half of the country buys this stuff. All right, moving on.
I actually made a tweet and I said, "Don't bring a blow dart to a gunfight."
That's good. Exactly. Blowdarts is the perfect answer. They'll just put J and J in it. I'm literally just picking cherry picking out of his quote. It's terrible. But at this point, I'm like, I don't care about your bodily autonomy because it's not just your bodily autonomy that you're putting people in jeopardy. He said, "How? How? The vaccine's free. Free. All right. Anybody over the age of like what 5 now can get it. At least 12. So how is an unvaccinated person putting a vaccinated person at risk? And if that person isn't vaccinated, at this point, it's because their doctor said not to, or the vast majority of it's going to be that person didn't want to. So pick one. Does it work or not? I say the stats say it works. Now, the longevity of that efficacy is a very severe question. That's another conversation. But if you say it's that detrimental to get the vaccine that you're going to blow dart it into people that you don't like because of their IQ or skin color, then your vaccine, you're telling people it doesn't work. That's what you say. All right. The undercover reporter asked Lee if he thought the government had the with wherewithal to go door to door to force vaccinate the populace. Lee replied, "I mean, census goes door to door if you don't respond. So we have the infrastructure to do it. It'll cost a ton of money, but I think at that point there needs to be a registry of people who aren't vaccinated. Although that's sounding very Germany at the same point.
No shit.
This is not just some random, this is part of our issue as well. This is not guy wants to blow dart black people and dumb white folks. Look how deep this goes when you get to the bottom of it. This clown literally says it sounds very NA to the obvious. Doesn't care at all. Doesn't care. Works for the federal government. I would have rather had talk about something nice tonight. I literally set out to talk about something nice and to be fun. This is incredible what's happening right now. This is I listened to a song. It said, "We went to bed with the American dream, and we woke up in Nightmerica." Literally, and I don't know how to explain that better. I'll tell you who can explain a lot of things a lot better than I do, especially since he's a writer. But he's really bad at it, which is the better reason to go read his books so that you can laugh at him and set his books on fire that you only pay for like 15 bucks on Amazon. I mean, they're very cheap. That's because nobody wants to buy them. Jack Casey, royalgreen.com. Technically, the reason they're so cheap is because everybody's buying them just to laugh at Jack Casey. But don't miss out. You too, with the many others that are buying the book right now, can buy this book and laugh at Jack Casey, who is the worst mermail I've ever seen with no chest hair, no beard, and a weird haircut. I feel
Oh,
like
there's
this
a
is
beard
some
there.
there's some odd version of like the aquatic Backstreet Boys going on here. I don't know.
Oh boy, that's a good one. Aquatics Backstreet.
Aquatic Backstreet Boys, some odd version of that. I don't know.
That's a tweet if I ever heard one.
Lots of comments. Most of y'all just
Any for the
having a
flag?
good time. I gotta look back. Let's see. Last I checked, we were at $100 from Ashley Greer Smoot. Thank you for the reminder. Does anybody else have a higher offer? I cannot give you facial hair. Sorry, Craig.
Yeah, be sure to
$100.
like, comment, and share, folks. Oh, there's got to be higher than that.
How long are you getting your how long are you doing it?
Just for this show. Oh, and it looks like Dennis Trupp
Yep.
is 130 and a size 3 toddler's packer dress.
Yes, so it's hilarious. Just saw that. Sweet effing flag.
Yeah, 130. But yeah, I am auctioning off this flag, folks, to help pay for stuff because what we do isn't free and we don't really get paid. So we got to figure out how to pay for it somehow.
Yep.
Like auctioning off a flag. I'm just going to keep. Woo.
The latest
And I
bid is
will.
130.
Yeah, I
150
will.
from Joe Solosky. Sorry, I got
Oh,
kicked off.
it's okay. But yeah, I will sign it and put a personal message on there and maybe throw in a few stickers. I could throw in some stickers, some Alaskan stickers. Make a
For
whole package
sure.
of it. But
Absolutely.
yeah, this is a flag. Remember, folks, I went to the top of a mountain with this thing. I went to a rally. I went to a medical freedom rally with this, and I climbed a mountain just to take pictures with this. So there's Alaskan mountain air in there.
Alaskan mountain air. Nice.
So,
I feel like you
anyways,
could sell that in a bottle. You know, like if a water. You ever seen the movie Waterboy, making fun of Cajuns? Although they actually shot that movie in Florida.
no.
You never saw Waterboy? Oh yeah, it's like
No.
Glacier. He has like this little tiny flask that he wears as a necklace, and it's glacier water.
I'll go climb a glacier. Sure, why not? There's a couple of glaciers I've been to lately, actually, like Byron Glacier, and I was near Portage Glacier, and there's a few other glaciers I've seen lately. But I've been doing a lot of hiking. I tried to get in a whole bunch of hiking before winter came, and now winter's here.
It's September.
They
I
got like a
don't
foot of
like.
snow in Anchorage.
I don't want to hear that.
You sounded so sad. It's
I like.
September.
I'm still sitting in a t-shirt. I want to enjoy and flip flops, shorts, t-shirts. My favorite time of the year. I hate the cold. I hate it.
Ah, I love it.
150 for Joe Solosky.
Perfect.
Coming strong. 150. Please make another bid. I'll try to do better at monitoring the comment section as you give your incredible segment.
My segment's always incredible. Just kidding. So this is kind of inspired by there's a lot of stuff that are like trust the science and not enough people reading history books or dystopian novels. This one isn't a dystopian novel. This is actual history of here in America, and I'm talking about eugenics in America. So I say eugenics, and what does that mean exactly? And that's the study of how to arrange reproduction within a human population to increase the occurrence of heritable characteristics regarded as desirable. So you're controlling who breeds and who reproduces and all that other stuff. And
Oh,
normally it's rooted in like race, that's the big one, and
really?
disabilities and everything like that. So I'm going to talk about California's eugenic problem or program. Eugenics was actually practiced all throughout the US at some point, but California had the biggest one, and it started in 1909, and it was by far the largest than any other state. So what does that mean exactly? So they sterilized more than 20,000 people between 1909 and 1979. So between, in 70 years, they sterilized more than 20,000 people. And of those sterilized in the like in the entire country, one third of them were from California. So
Wow.
yeah, 20,000 times three, that's 60,000, the whole US. Yeah, one third of them, which was 20,000, was in California. And this is a low estimate. This is a very low estimate. So at minimum, this is how many people were sterilized. So how did this kind of start? What did it mean by that? So state officials were deeming these people as unfit to have children. Some of these victims were as young as 13 years old. So imagine the state coming in, you're 13 years old, you're unfit to be a parent. Well, no shit, you're 13, first off. But like to decide at that age and they're going to sterilize you at 13 because you're unfit to be a parent according to the state. So the criteria included mental illnesses, physical disabilities, and any undesirable traits. And by undesirable traits, that was heavily focused on Mexicans, Native Americans, and Asians. So this whole program was meant to improve the human race and do away with state institutions being prisons, hospitals, asylums, and orphanages to help save money. So the government was trying to save money by sterilizing populations that they didn't like, that they figured were actually populating prisons, hospitals, asylums, and orphanages based off of race and
We're s-
disability.
we're still doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get to that. I get to that.
Sorry.
So, no, no worries. So, the HBF, or the Human Betterment Foundation, started in Pasadena, California to combat the critics of sterilization. Because, as you can imagine, people were like, oh my gosh, you're sterilizing people? That sounds awful. So, this foundation was started to combat the criticism. And they published scientific reports about the benefits to patients, families, and society about sterilizing people. And eventually, this foundation was absorbed by Caltech, and the foundation and the research continued. This was in 1942 that Caltech absorbed it. So this whole foundation was pretty much giving off the vibes of trust the science, bro. That was why it was,
Always.
yeah, trust the science. You should sterilize people because it benefits the patients, families, and society. So this program was so good at its propaganda in terms of how this is actually good for society and for the human race as a whole that it inspired Nazi Germany in their eugenics program. A
Hmm.
lot of people say Nazi Germany is the pioneer of eugenics, and it was actually America, California to be exact, with this Human Betterment Foundation. Big yikes. So, Americans, pioneers in eugenics. Yay. Inspired Nazi Germany. Not even exaggerating. So, these laws that allowed eugenics were not repealed until 1979, very recently. However, it was still practiced on inmates and wasn't exposed until 2013 by the Center of Investigative Reporting. So, part of what made this legal is in 1999, they had a policy change in terms of inmate medical practice, and it included tubal ligation as part of inmates' medical care. So for those that don't know, tubal ligation. I'm not a medical
Yeah,
expert, so
both are
I
good.
might be pronouncing.
Tubal ligation.
Yeah,
I've always got bilateral tubal ligation,
yeah,
or you can do
and
unilateral.
yeah. So pretty much the purpose of it is to prevent the eggs from traveling from the ovaries to the fallopian tubes, or like through the fallopian tubes, to the uterus, so it can't travel through. And it blocks the sperm from traveling up the fallopian tubes to the egg. So highways cut off, egg can't go to the uterus, sperm can't get to the egg. Boom. So they were using it as a birth control. But the thing is, that's permanent, hence eugenics. So,
Hypothetically, it's not always permanent.
yeah, very rarely though, like, because people talk about like also their tubes getting tied and stuff like that. It's meant to be permanent, but you can heal from it, but not likely.
Yeah, yeah, very rare. And
Yes.
very hard to reverse, by the way. Much easier to reverse a vasectomy. Also, not 100% promoted, or I'm sorry, not 100% effective and not 100% reversible. So,
Sip, sip.
there's no exact science.
So These women were coerced into submitting to the procedure and not understanding the consequences fully. So, when you give consent, you need to have informed consent. Otherwise, it's not truly consent.
Right.
And you can't be coerced, or there shouldn't be any sort of reprimand if you say no. That's not true consent. So these women were coerced into submitting to the procedure, not fully understanding what this meant, but it was part of medical practice on inmates. And the state sterilized 144 women between 2005 and 2013 with little or no evidence that officials counseled them or offered alternative treatment. This is, again, a low estimate. 39 cases, uh, the state officials didn't do everything legally required to obtain permission. 39 cases. And 2014, state law bans sterilization as a birth control for state and local prisons. Go figure, the state shouldn't be able to come in and sterilize you. I mean, unless you're like a pedophile. I'd be okay with that. Anyways, so there are reparations set up for the victims of these programs. However, there's a lot of obstacles that prevent you from getting them. For example, so this is only for victims of the state of California. It does not include victims from local governments. The LA County Board of Supervisors apologized for more than 200 women sterilized in LA County USC Medical Center between 1968 and 1974, but none of those people are up for reparations under these new reparation laws that they have. And only direct victims, not family members, are available to obtain those. So again, the government came in, did highly invasive medical procedures on individuals that weren't fully educated about what was going on, and they actually made it legal, and they they heavily focused on Mexicans, Native Americans, and Asian populations because they figured those are the troublemakers of society and they would be better off without them because it's better for you. Trust the science, bro.
Trust the science, bro. Also, reparations doesn't help. Makes you feel good. Doesn't help. It doesn't change history. Doesn't change the past. And for 90% of people, doesn't help the future. Feels good right then. What we need to do is stop letting the government do this. That's what we need to do. Let's not worry about getting paid or some sort of outcome of it. Let's just stop it. We are the power. They can't do this without our consent. And we're armed. Sorry.
No, it's true. And I really want to emphasize on that HBF, or the Human Betterment Foundation. Their job was to make this sound like the scientific good whatever outcome that we need for America because it's what's good for society. And so when you have someone shoving this at you saying this is good for you from a government organization, you really do need to take a step back and be like, whoa, like, let's get a second opinion. Because there's multiple times throughout history that government officials and scientists and whatnot say this is good for society and really thrust it upon you, but you don't have full consent, and atrocities like this happen.
Basically, the entire history of the government. And we're not
Hence
looking
the
any better.
hesitation. Yeah.
Hence the hesitation. But let's blow dart them anyway. Us, really. I'm talking about them. Incredible.
Yeah. So there, a lot of people reference Tuskegee experiments when, like, why minorities are very hesitant about, getting a shot or any sort of medical procedure from the government. But there's also iodine 131. There's the eugenics program, like I just mentioned. There's Margaret Sanger's experiments on Puerto Ricans. There's so many things that the government has done wrong medically for minority folks in the name of having a better society. and they turn out awful.
Almost every time. Joshua McCoe says, "How often have the scientists changed their minds on fat and eggs?" And you know what? That's a valid point. That's a valid point. You know that the FDA once said that Pop Tarts were good for you? Yeah,
They also approve fentanyl.
they've approved a lot, but that's a very relevant one. They definitely approved fentanyl. And now all the talk about the cross. I'm not going to get into the immigration border thing. Um, but yeah, the fentanyl situation. That's FDA.
So when people are screaming at those that are hesitating in terms of the vaccine, there's so many things in history that have caused people like myself to hesitate. And also talking with my doctor, there are other reasons why I hesitate to take the vaccine, but that's between me and my doctor, and that's how it should be.
That's how it should be between you and your doctor, and then your ultimate decision. 100% on all of this. 150? Was that the last bid we had?
I don't know, you're watching the comments, but here's the flag again. Look at this. I have a little braid. I don't know if people have noticed on my flag, but I made this myself, like the design. But there's a little braid and a harpoon and AKLP. Little booties. Oh, and the wording on the bottom says "Don't tread on anyone," and it has little snow caps on them. Don't tread on anyone.
Nice. We need more than 150 from Joe Solosky, with Joe in the lead, who also says Eskimos nailing it here. I hope that's
Thanks.
consensual.
Oh, I even put little blush marks on my cheek. Look at the resemblance, guys. Sorry. I'm having too much fun with this.
Oh, that's funny. That's the point. Gotta have some fun. Everything's all doom and gloom. So we need some time to decompress and fight for a good cause, right? That help keep the information going.
For sure. Yeah, it can be very wearing. And I know like the burnout is real. So being able to have fun, or when I apologize when I laugh at things that shouldn't be funny, but it's like I need to laugh. Otherwise, I'd be crying because this is actually really serious and awful. So I'm just gonna laugh through it and make it funny. But on the inside, I'm dying.
Yeah, it's rough. I had a rough episode Wednesday.
Mm.
Didn't intend to. It's just what's happening right now is maddening, and it's incredible. Like the stuff that you just laid out, we're watching it happen in real. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. They just
Yeah,
repackage it, put a short skirt on it and some lipstick, and sell it to you again. It's incredible. We're still falling for this.
for sure. And
150.
like,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh, it's okay. When I talk about like the Native American residential schools, even that, like that was meant to be a benevolent program. And that's specifically their words, benevolent program by the Monroe administration. And before Monroe left office, it wasn't working because people weren't voluntarily bringing their children to these residential schools. So they had to do it by force. It happens all the time. It comes out as a benevolent provision. It's like, oh, this is what you need to do because this is what's good for you. And when people aren't doing it because they don't think it's good for them, they will use force.
Those who would trade freedom for liberty for safety deserve neither. Ben Franklin. And that's as valid today as he said it. And because it was said 200 plus years ago, means it was prevalent and applicable at that time, which means there's a history of this The only thing that's going to turn stuff around is civil disobedience, and you can start that civil disobedience at 160 because our highest bid right now is at $150. So if you don't get your bid in quickly, you might not get a chance. What was that?
Nothing.
Was that your seltzer?
No, I don't have a seltzer today. But yeah, guys, auction off for the cutest Gadsden flag to ever exist. I will
Tom's
claim that
gonna.
this is definitely the cutest, most wholesome Gadsden flag you could ever own,
Hmm. It
from the
is a
most wholesome
great.
libertarian.
That's debatable. I don't know. Maybe it's not so much after my Wednesday show where I'll use the F word like 3 times. I think it was three. Maybe it was four. But I'll tell you who is definitely wholesome.
Jonathan Reels. Jonathan Reels. He is not a Reels candidate yet, but you can help him become a Reels candidate. He's a Reels boy, but he's not a Reels candidate. Not yet. But you can help him out by giving him some money at www.jonathan.cash. At www.jonathan.cash. He needs to raise $5,000 and he's a Reels candidate. For Reels, guys.
For reals, guys.
For
I love
Reels.
that. That's really a great. The only thing I don't like about this graphic is that it says "Make Jonathan Real Again" at $486, and that was the first graphic we got. It's way up there, y'all. We just need to top it off a little bit. $5 is $5. It's way up there. He's very close. He was also able to get some laws changed so that he could make it cheaper for him to run, which shouldn't be a thing in the first place. This is ridiculous, utterly
Only
absurd,
fair.
and absolute discrimination. But these are the laws we have right now. So we got to get Jonathan eligible. And because he was able to get some decently minded individuals to help change that goal legally, we only have a little bit left to go. $5 is $5. Also, $150 is the current bid for the cutest Gadsden flag ever. $150 and a 12-pack of Baps Blue Ribbon, says Dennis Trupp. You like PBR? I don't think Eskimo likes PBR. I think she likes seltzer and like very sweet wine.
No, I actually drink as dry of wine as you can get. The
A-
drier, more dark, bitter wine, the better.
What about a double shot of whiskey? Straight.
I cannot do liquor.
Oh,
Cannot do liquor. But I make my own wine anyways.
that's very awesome. My best man of Sonny and I's wedding, Anthony, Tony Tone is what I've called him. Been a really great friend of mine since I was about 17, 18 years old. He makes his own wine out of muscadine. I guess it would be a fruit. You probably don't know
Oh,
what fruit is. Y'all don't have fruit in Alaska because it's nothing but like 4 degrees in the summer. But there's this thing called fruit, and it's sweet. It grows from the ground where all these green things are. Not everything's dead and white and
oh
frozen
my God.
like the Game of Thrones.
I picked
You
like
get
5 gallons of
it?
blueberries. Okay. Like,
Out of your entire lifetime?
no, this last summer I worked my ass off.
Yeah, it's
We have
resolution.
berries.
It's funny.
They're like this tall.
It's funny to me that, like I said, fruit, and you go to like I picked these berries and lots of them. It's like, where's the rest of the fruit?
I think we have crab apples. I don't know what else fruit we could grow up here. Berries. Berries and
Ah,
crab apples and
berries are delicious.
yes,
Fruit
wild
is
berries.
delicious. Fruit is my most missed um delicacy or food since becoming a diabetic. I love fruit so much.
I think my
So
avatar's
enjoy your
diabetic. Looks about chippy.
enjoy your berries. because they are special. 150 going. We might have to do another night of this because I don't think 150 is enough. And we did not advertise this tonight. So
I advertised it.
Joe Solosky says, "Don't make me come to Alaska to get that flag."
Oh gosh. Oh my.
This is your deal. It's up to you. Do we go another night or is it Joe's at 150?
Well, there's still a couple other things we need to do. Like we need to plug our other Muddy Waters media shows. Like on Monday, Mr.
Nice.
Bearded Truth. And on Tuesday, we have Spike. I always do this, Spat and Mike.
Back. Spat Cohen.
Spike and Matt.
I
On
live in New
Tuesday.
England. His name is Spat Cohen.
Oh my God. So they're on Tuesday for Muddy Waters of Freedom. Then we have Spike on Wednesdays with his My Fellow Americans. And on Thursday will be Matt with the Writer's Block. And then Friday back with us. Doot, doot. Do we have any anchor call-in moments?
We have one anchor call-in moment. I am going to stretch this out for a little bit for bids for the best Gadsden flag ever known, the Eskimo Libertarian, best avatar in Gadsden flag, and also because I want you to call in for the Tom for 52.com anchor wheel in moment where we wheel in your calls like Thomas Queter will wheel into the New York State Senate. I'm gonna let that scroll right there. Anchor.fm, the Cajun Libertarian. We really need to get our own Eskimo and Cajun Libertarian call in. We also need to start a page. Thought about that earlier, where it's just Cajun and Eskimo from Bayous to Iglus. Let me get to the anchor call in moment. The Thomas Daniel Queter Tom for 52.com. That's TOMFOR52.com. Anchor wheel in moment where we wheel in your calls like Thomas Queter is going to wheel into New York State Senate. Escagen or Cacamo. That's pretty funny. I get that's a good one. All right. Let's see what we got. We have one call in from James M. Ray, and I'm nervous. Just kidding. James is great.
All right, this is James M. Ray. It just says the Cajun Libertarian, so I don't know if I'm also calling Eskimo or not. I hope I am. Anyway, the subject of this call is twofold: free Cuba and free Ross.
Nice.
Ross Ulbricht, as you all know, has been unjustly imprisoned, and Cuba, as some of you know, thanks to Martha, not the damn media, is also in dire straits. And we need to help these folks, both of them, very much. And so look up Martha Bueno, and she can get you in touch with the right people. Thanks very much. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.
Sweet. Thanks, James. Yes, I've had Martha on twice. She is phenomenal. Super intelligent, brilliant, fantastic activist down in, and also running for Miami-Dade Commission, I think District 10 of Florida, which I think has a $9 billion budget. There are literally 10 commissioners on that committee. So look up Martha Bueno. Follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram, follow on Facebook. I know she's bigger on Twitter and Instagram than Facebook. Follow her. She's been on My Fellow Americans. She's been on the Muddy Waters of Freedom. She's been on the Cajun Libertarian Live twice. Fantastic Cuban activist in running for office. She's also on the Libertarian Spanish channel on the National LP show. So go look up Martha Bueno, follow her, and see how you can also get involved in what's happening. This is in what's happening in Cuba. This is kind of the problem with what we deal with, right? It's a constant flow of news, and you can't even, they do this on purpose. You can't even keep up. We can't even barely follow up with some of the major stuff that we've had to talk about in the past month because that's how fast the news is rolling in. just like the news of the best gas and flag of Libertarian Party, Eskimo Libertarian. Bid is at 150. Who's beating it? Airless, $200 for the flag. Who's got more than $200? I hope I
So
said your name
Arliss
right.
is like the latest member of the Seafood Caucus, and
Nice.
I posted a picture of him. He was like featured with Mountain Men of Alaska, so he's definitely one for the OnlyFins account. Did you
Nice.
see that one?
No, I have not. I was super busy today. I worked a very long time today, and
Oh, okay.
we got issues at work, bad issues. First time I've ever said that.
So if you
Two
think
hundred
you
bucks.
have a good beard, you should go check out his beard.
I don't need to because I know I have the best beard. It's not as black and defined and thick and gorgeous as mine. Just wait. When I'm not
Mm.
doing pest control anymore, which may be coming to a close here very soon, thanks government. Um, yeah, this thing is getting Viking. I might put
Viking.
miniature like squirrel skulls in it. I could braid it into like 7 different braids. You know what I mean? And like each braid have like 15 squirrel skulls. I can do that. I can do that.
So actually, the Alaska LP communications director has a big beard, and got Viking beads in his beard that are like braided in there, like with the
Paul
Viking
Robbins.
ruins and stuff. Yeah,
Love Paul
super
Robbins.
cool guy. Shout out.
And there's many people that will say, "Oh, you got a man crush on Paul Robbins." Probably. I got a man crush on a lot of men. It's fine. I don't care.
That
Married with
guy's
3
intense.
kids.
I've met him in person actually. Yeah, he's very intense.
Got 3 kids and a wife. I'm not worried about being a man crush. Paul Robbins is a great dude. Go look him up. Follow him on social media. Fantastic. Very bright.
Very intense. But he gets shit done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I was going to say something, but really he's the dude up in Alaska. I mean, you as well. There's a handful of y'all that are just go-getters and get stuff done in Alaska. It's very inspiring for everybody else. I hope it is. It's inspiring for us, for me, for the people that are here. 150, 200 is the latest bid for the best gas and flag in the Libertarian Party. Anybody
Awesome.
beating $200?
Well,
Dennis
thank
Trupp says, "Your father-in-law, I got peanut butter in my beard once." But were you able to get it out without the best libertarian Gadsden flag in the country? And if you didn't, then you should pay $2.25. That way you can.
oh my
You
God.
could clean the peanut butter off with the section that Eskimo gives you the personal message on. I mean, it's like a double win. I'm literally trying to picture a flag while I shitting on you the whole time.
There's Alaskan mountain air in this flag. I
That
climbed a
too.
mountain, went to a freedom rally. Oh my God.
For clarification, do not clean whatever stain or substance that you have with the greatest gas and flag within the Libertarian Party, please. Don't do that. That was a joke. Especially not peanut
Okay.
butter. I don't know that that's going to come out. It's
So
so greasy.
let's say going once, 200 for the flag going twice. I know there's a lag on here, so I'm kind of going slow.
No, you're
There's a
good.
lag between like when we're broadcasting and the thing.
Mohegan says send a bag of Alaskan air with it. That seems
300 or 300, 200 going
200 going 3 times. 203, 33, 11, gas and flag, 3, 300 times.
sold.
Boom, $200. Two, the newest member of the LP Seafood Caucus. That's pretty freaking outstanding.
Oh, nope. Julia Caldwell. That 202 babysitting. Going with
Nice.
that. That's my mom.
202. What is this? What are we doing? Like the price is right.
All
I
right, it's
got
sold to my mom. My mom bought it.
$202.01.
Nope.
Not me. I was just joking.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I got dinner to get to. We're having
Nice.
salmon, king
Oh
salmon
my God.
tonight. I'm going to post some photos on the Seafood Caucus group. Make sure you guys join the Libertarian Party Seafood Caucus. And yeah, let's wrap this up.
Sweet. So, are we sold to Julia or at 205 into babysitting? I think you spoke a bit early.
Well,
Figured
now
that
they're
would happen.
pitting back and forth.
So 205.
King salmon is ready. Okay, well, I got king salmon to get to,
There we
so
go.
I'll have to wrap this up and go see them.
You're gonna go see the king salmon that are already dead?
Yeah, they have king salmon for me. That's what we're having for dinner.
Who's they?
Julia and Arliss.
Oh, shut up. Are you serious? Okay, my
Yeah,
bad. I didn't know that. All right.
so
Nice.
200.
$200 sold for the best
Perfect.
Gadsden flag in the Libertarian Party. So, TomFor52.com, all of our sponsors, thank you very, very, very much for sponsoring the show. Y'all are all awesome. Eskimo, final
Perfect.
words.
Nope. I'm excited to go eat king salmon.
Nice. Fantastic.
Oh, and don't bring a blow dart to a gunfight.
Don't. Very, very valid. Very valid. Absolutely fantastic. So don't forget, y'all, to catch all of your Muddy Waters media programming right here. And we will see you again in 1 week on the Cajun and Eskimo show.
Yeah. Advocating for a freer world.
From Bayous
To Iglus. Bye.
Bye, y'all.